All right, so anybody recognize either of these characters? This is a tough one. Mummy? I heard Mummy out there. Yes. So, and Noah Wiles, yes. So, these series, this is the Librarian series, and on the left is Evie O'Connell from The Mummy. And she's basically, anybody want to guess what kind of type she is? Ooh, sexy. Okay, what else? She's actually hero, and she's basically a female Indiana Jones. So she's a librarian and an Egyptologist at the Cairo Museum, and she's not afraid to fight mummies or fight with swords. So we consider her a hero. On the right, we've got the typical stereotype of a male librarian. Anyone want to guess what that is? Macho. Did I hear hunky? No. You'll say hunky? Yeah, Noah Wiles, hunky. Yeah, okay. So actually, you're right. He is portrayed as quite macho, but he is actually the bookish, brilliant, and inept bumbling librarian. So he's the bumbling librarian character. And they're almost always male, so look for that. So as far as film genres go, librarians fare better in sci-fi or fantasy because the themes of custodian or preserver of knowledge are important. So the information usually equals knowledge, which equals power. So if the future is going to be devastated by Armageddon, then information is usually a key factor, we hope. So depending on who's at power at the time, librarians may be trained to be facilitators of knowledge, or they may keep information out of the hands of evil. So
you probably recognize this one. What do you think? Ghostbusters? Yeah. And so we're getting a little bit more into the cop depiction here, which I'll just play the clip. I'm sure you all remember this lovely lady here.
It's here.
A full torso apparition, and it's real.
So what do we do? Could you come over here and talk to me for a second, please? Could you just come over here for a second, please? Right over here.
Come here, Francine. Come here.
What do we do?
I don't know. What do you think? Stop that! We've got to make contact. One of us should actually try to speak to it.
Good idea. Hello. I'm Peter. Where are you from? Originally. Shh. All right, okay. The usual stuff isn't working.
Okay. I have a plan. I know exactly what to do. Now stay close. Stay close. I know. Do exactly as I say. Get ready. Ready? Get her!
All right, so that was a very attractive depiction of an old maid librarian there. And as you saw, she was both shelving and shushing, so we had 2 out of 3. Oops. Nope. Okay. Has anyone seen Party Girl with Parker Posey from 1995? Yeah? Okay. Great. So I love this movie. So Parker Posey is Mary. She lives in New York. She throws an illegal party and gets arrested, and Aunt Judy bails her out. Aunt Judy's on the right there, on the picture on the left. And it's Judy's dream that Mary becomes a librarian. So to pay her back, she joins the New York Public Library as a staffer, and it turns out that she winds up really liking the job. And so we have Parker Posey, or Mary, as authoritarian persona here on the right, and we'll show the clip. And here we have her stamping, and she's pretty angry with this patron.
Excuse me. What are you doing? Yeah, you. Were you just putting that book away? It looked like you were just putting that book away. I guess you didn't know we have a system for putting books away here. No, I'm curious. You were just randomly putting that book on the shelf, is that it? You've just given us a great idea. I mean, why are we wasting our time with the Dewey Decimal System when your system is so much easier? Much easier. We'll just put the books anywhere. Hear that, everybody? Our friend here has given us a great idea. We'll just put the books any damn place we choose. We don't care, right? Isn't that right?
You haven't taken a break all morning. Take a break.
I just want to do a good job, Howard.
You are doing a good job. Take a break. I'll cover. Take a break.
So with that, with the cop persona, Black says that librarians who demonstrate an excessive need for control and order and their propensity for exacting disproportional retribution when faced with unruly users and overdue books. So librarians are seen as know-it-alls, and these librarians exert power and authority over all their users, and I think we saw that very clearly in this clip here. So that kind of goes with this cop persona. And have another cop persona. Hopefully everyone's familiar with this one. Parks and Recreation, Tammy 2. So Tammy 2 is the Deputy Director of Library Services. Her ex-husband is Ron Swanson, who works with Leslie Knope. They're on the right. Tammy 2's on the left. And Leslie goes into the library, and this clip actually does not have Tammy 2 in it, but one of her colleagues. So I'll play that.
You seem to have a $40 late fee on a book called Mysteries of the Female Orgasm.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. And grab the Marie. Go, 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 go! Punk-ass book jockey!
Punk-ass book jockeys. Apparently, Nick Offerman's, I'm not sure who in his family, but people in his family are librarians, so I guess that's why librarians get poked fun of so much in the show, which is good to know that it wasn't just, spite. So that's another example of the cop librarian exerting authority over users by embarrassment and shouting out what book she supposedly had checked out. Then we have the sexy librarian stereotype. I did it again. So we didn't really find a clip for this, but you might recognize some of these ads. So on the right, we have an ad for Bacardi, trying to change rum from a vacation drink to something more appealing to younger people. And it says librarian by day, Bacardi by night. And then on the left, we have ads from Pearl Vision. So we have naughty librarian, librarian glasses, trying to shill glasses with the sexy librarian stereotype. So we're just going to show the example of this because, we couldn't really find a clip. So, but we have these ads. Then we have Batgirl, which kind of crosses over a little bit into the sexy librarian stereotype, but we were classifying her more as a hero. So Barbara Gordon, librarian at the Gotham City Public Library by day and crime-fighting Wonder Batgirl by night. She was first introduced to the Batman comics and TV show in 1966 as an attempt to bring in more female readers and viewers. So again, as Cindy had mentioned earlier, librarianship in this sense is a socially appropriate job for a young unmarried woman, and such is the case for Barbara Gordon. And regardless of whether or not she was reinforcing popular stereotypes about librarians, she definitely was empowering a younger group of girls. So that part is good. And in the 60s and onward, she became a symbol of women's empowerment. And we have a PSA clip here from 1972 where she appeared for the U.S. Department of Labor to advocate for equal pay for women. So that's pretty cool.
I
deserted warehouse on the outskirts of town. And a ticking bomb spells trouble for Batman and Robin.
Holy, breaking and entering. It's Batgirl.
Quick, Batgirl. Untie us before it's too late.
It's already too late. I've worked for you a long time, and I'm paid less than Robin.
Holy discontent.
Same job, same employer means equal pay for men and women.
No time for jokes, Batgirl.
It's no joke. It's the federal equal pay law.
Holy act of Congress.
Can we talk about this later?
Will Batgirl save the dynamic duo? Will she get equal pay? Tune in tomorrow or contact the Wage and Hour Division listed in your phone book under the U.S. Department of Labor.
Okay, so again, she's the hero. All right. Then, does anybody recognize this movie? Desk Set, yeah, with Katharine Hepburn from 1957. And so in this, Spencer Tracy comes in with a fancy new computer, and Katharine Hepburn's worried that, they can't build a machine to do our job, that they'll be replaced by machines, which is a worry of a number of professions, but very much so in librarianship. And technology has continued to change our work over the last 50 years, but we've definitely adapted with that. Overall, though, this film gives a positive depiction of librarians without too heavy stereotyping, so this one's pretty good for that.
Here they are, if you would. I'd say the Times Index for this. The Old Farmer's Almanac for this, if not U.S. Weather Information Service. But check the Farmer's Almanac first and save time. This is from the Bible. Book of Amos, chapter 1.
Thank you.
Just smart women doing their jobs, hopefully getting equal pay. All right, Cindy's turn now.
So we showed you some examples of librarian depictions in media tonight. So did you notice any themes in these stereotypes other than the typologies that we talked about? You can shout it out if you want. It's okay if you don't have an answer, too. Okay. And then what do you think these characters have in common? They're librarians, I guess. But how do you think these portrayals of librarians in movies may have shaped your ideas about librarians? I know we all want to look at Mr. Gosling here, so I forgot to move it forward. Can you think of any other media where the librarian depicted was a stereotype? And I'm going to ask you a lot of rhetorical questions here. What about a movie where the librarian has broken the stereotype? So how do these stereotypes come about? So one of the reasons is nobody really knows what we do, so they make it up and build a fictionalized idea of what a librarian is and does, and it influences and informs you to fill in the gaps and acts as a mental shortcut. We mentioned mental shortcut. So Maura Seal again says that because there's nearly no awareness as to the knowledge, duties, skills, and education of librarians, and as a consequence, the public perceptions draw pretty heavily on our stereotypical representations of our personalities. So ultimately, librarians in libraries tend not to be effectively utilized because users remain unaware of what librarians' abilities and responsibilities do. So, mental shortcut.